The Cleveland Browns just pulled off one of the most shocking and downright insulting moves of the entire NFL offseason. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of a franchise that's made a career out of disappointing his fan base, has humiliated Shedeur Sanders by naming him QB3. That's right, not QB1, not even QB2, QB3. And not even just behind the veterans, but behind Dillon Gabriel. For weeks, the buzz around Browns camp was clear. Shedeur Sanders was different. He had the swagger, he had the poise, he had the kind of energy that turns casual fans into diehards. Every practice, every snap, every interview, he looked like the spark Cleveland has been missing for decades. But just when it seemed like the team had finally stumbled into hope, Stefanski slammed the door shut. Now let's be honest, this isn't just about one depth chart decision. This is about politics, this is about ego, and most importantly, this is about fear. Because Kevin Stefanski knows what happens the second Shedeur Sanders gets on the field. He knows the crowd will erupt, he knows the media will swarm, and he knows that his carefully controlled little QB plan will be ripped to shreds. Fans are already furious, social media is exploding. Analysts are calling the sabotage classic Browns dysfunction. But here's the part no one's talking about. By burying Shedeur Sanders, Stefanski may have just created a monster, a storyline bigger than any rookie battle we've seen in years. So buckle up, because in this video we're breaking down exactly why Stefanski humiliated Shedeur, what it means for the Browns' future, and why this decision could backfire so badly it might end Stefanski's own career. Hello, this is the Hun HQ, and I know that the drawing for the Shedeur jerseys was supposed to be today, August 21st. I didn't get that many emails, so I'm not sure if you guys think this is a scam or not, so let me just give you the chance to prove it. So go ahead to the pinned comments, submit your email for the Shedeur Sanders jersey giveaway. I'm going to extend it by 7 days, and the final drawing will be on August 28th for a chance to win one of 5 Shedeur jerseys in your choice of color and size. Let's get back to the video. To understand the chaos Stefanski has created, you have to understand what Shedeur Sanders represents. From the moment his name was called on draft night, there was a buzz in Cleveland unlike anything we've seen in years. And I know you remember, not since Baker Mayfield's arrival has there been this much raw anticipation for a rookie quarterback. But this time, we know it's different. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a name, he's a brand. His last name carries weight. But it's not just hype. Shedeur has proven at every level that he can deliver under the brightest lights. He's cool, he's calculated, and thrives when the pressure's at his highest. We saw him play against the Panthers this preseason. Fans knew it, the media knew it, even his teammates knew it. Early camp reports painted a clear picture. Shedeur wasn't just keeping up with the competition, he was setting the tone. His throws were crisp, his decision-making was sharp, and his leadership was undeniable. He was showing up to practice 40 minutes earlier than anyone else and staying 20 minutes extra. Players gravitated toward him. Analysts started whispering that maybe, just maybe, the Browns had found their guy. But alongside Shedeur was Dillon Gabriel. A capable quarterback, sure, but one with clear limitations. At barely 6 feet tall, questions about his size and durability have followed him his entire career. In practices, Gabriel flashed moments of competence, but he never commanded the field like Shedeur Sanders did. And yet somehow he kept being pushed forward by the coaching staff. And here's where the story takes a darker turn. Instead of embracing the energy Sanders brought, Kevin Stefanski began downplaying it. Reporters noticed the tone. He was quick to praise Gabriel while barely acknowledging Shedeur's standout moments. It felt intentional, almost like he was trying to manage expectations, or worse, suppress them. So when the announcement came that Shedeur Sanders would be QB3, it didn't just feel like a setback. It felt like the result of weeks of quiet resistance from a head coach who seemed determined to keep Sanders out of the spotlight. And then came the bombshell. Kevin Stefanski steps to the podium, depth chart in hand, and declares that Shedeur Sanders will open the season as the third-string quarterback. Buried behind veterans, buried behind Dillon Gabriel. I really can't even believe I'm saying that. I'm so serious. It was a gut punch that fans are still trying to process. Let's be crystal clear here. This isn't a normal football decision. This is personal. Sanders outperformed Gabriel throughout camp. He He looked sharper in scrimmages. He looked more composed in the pocket. Even national analysts admitted that Sanders looked the part in ways Gabriel didn't. Yet somehow, Gabriel leapfrogged Sanders. Why? The answer isn't football. The answer is fear. We all know it. Fear of what happens if Shedeur Sanders gets on the field and immediately captures the city's heart. Fear of what happens when the rookie the fans adore the most makes Gabriel irrelevant overnight. And fear of what happens when Stefanski loses control of the narrative. Because make no mistake, once Shedeur plays, the Browns will never go back. The hype machine will be unstoppable. Jerseys will sell, ratings will spike, national media will descend on Cleveland, and suddenly the team will belong to Shedeur, not to Stefanski. For a head coach already on shaky ground, that's a nightmare. So Kevin Stefanski chose politics over performance. He chose to bury Shedeur, to humiliate him, to send a message, this is my team, not yours. But what he doesn't realize is that all he's done is ignite a fire he can't control. Because now every mistake Dillon Gabriel makes will echo louder. Every interception, every missed read, every loss will fuel the calls for Shedeur. And when those calls grow too loud to ignore, Stefanski will have no choice but to unleash the very player he's tried so desperately to keep hidden. This isn't just a depth chart, it's a battle for power. And right now, Kevin Stefanski is losing. The actual announcement was almost comical, how dismissive it was. Reporters ask why Gabriel was ahead of Sanders. His answer? We feel this is the best decision right now. That's it. No evidence, no explanation, just the kind of canned coach speak that fans have heard 1,000 times before. But here's the thing. Fans aren't stupid. You aren't stupid. I'm not stupid. We see through it. We've watched the practices. We've heard the whispers. We all know Shedeur Sanders doesn't deserve to be buried. And within minutes, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube lit up with outrage. One fan wrote, "This is sabotage, plain and simple." Another said, "You don't draft Shedeur Sanders just to humiliate him." Others simply posted memes as Stefanski as a villain destroying the Browns from inside out. It wasn't just fans. Analysts piled on too. And local Cleveland shows all turning to Stefanski's decision. One analyst put it bluntly, Shedeur Sanders outperformed Dillon Gabriel. Period.
It's not about football. This is about ego. And while fans and media raged, imagine what this felt like for Sanders himself. A young quarterback, confident but untested, was told by his coach that everything he's shown in camp didn't matter. He wasn't even good enough to be QB2. It's more than a snub. It's a humiliation. But here's the twist that didn't count on. By burying Sanders, he didn't stop the hype. He amplified it. Because now, Shedeur isn't just the promising rookie. He's the underdog, the disrespected star in waiting. And fans love nothing more than an underdog rising against the odds. So while Stefanski thought he was putting out the fire, he may just have poured gasoline all over it. The reaction to Kevin Stefanski's decision wasn't disappointment. It was a full-blown eruption. Cleveland fans who have spent years suffering through mediocrity and broken promises took this as a slap in the face. They weren't quiet about it either. Social media platforms became a war zone within minutes of the announcement. It was crazy. I was on Twitter. I saw tweets like, "Stefanski is sabotaging this kid, plain and simple. This is the same old Browns dysfunction. Nothing ever changes." And best believe I tweeted the Browns account saying, "Star Shedeur, fire Stefanski. There's no in between." But it wasn't only fans. Analysts across the country started questioning the logic. On sports talk shows, today's pundits tacked to Stefanski. One said, "This feels like a coach trying to protect his job rather than do what's best for the team." Another added the Browns have been irrelevant for years. They finally draft a star that could energize the entire league, and they bury him. Even within the locker room, whispers began. Teammates saw how Sanders carried himself during camp. They respected his confidence, his leadership, the way he made difficult throws look effortless. Some players couldn't believe what they were hearing. How do you watch a guy outperform in camp and then drop him to QB3? The Browns' decision wasn't just questioned, it was ridiculed. Memes spread like wildfire. Stefanski with clown makeup. Stefanski is holding Sanders' career hostage. Gabriel Photoshop with training wheels. The fan base was laughing through his anger, but the underlying message was clear. Nobody believes this is about football. This is politics, this is fear. And by trying to bury Shedeur Sanders, Kevin Stefanski had unintentionally turned him into the single most talked about quarterback in the NFL preseason. Here's the thing most people don't realize. This goes far beyond the Cleveland Browns. The NFL itself is at a crossroads. Ratings have been struggling, fans are restless, and the league desperately needs new stars who can capture national attention. Shedeur Sanders is tailor-made for that role. He's young, charismatic, and connected to one of the most legendary names in football history. Every time he steps on the field, the cameras follow him. Every time he speaks, fans listen. He isn't just a player, he's a storyline waiting to unfold. And instead of embracing that, the Browns are hiding him. Think about the irony. A league begging for fresh faces is stuck watching one of the most marketable rookies rot on the bench as a QB3. And why? Because Kevin Stefanski is too afraid of what happens when Sanders takes over. But here's the bigger problem. Cleveland isn't just letting down its fans, it's hurting the league itself. Imagine the rating spike if Shedeur Sanders were under center on opening day. Imagine the national media frenzy. Instead, we're getting yet another bland quarterback story with Dillon Gabriel and Joe Flacco. This isn't just mismanagement, this is malpractice. The Browns aren't just sabotaging their season, they're sabotaging the NFL. And when you zoom out even further, it becomes obvious this is the same Browns dysfunction that's plagued the franchise for decades. Drafting stars and burying them, making the wrong decisions at the worst possible time. It's almost as if Cleveland is addicted to chaos. And this decision might be the worst yet. So where does this leave us? Right now, Dillon Gabriel is sitting in a spot he hasn't earned. He's the safe option, the guy the coaching staff thinks can keep things calm. But here's the truth, Gabriel won't hold the job for that long. The NFL is a results-driven league, and when Gabriel starts struggling, and he will, the calls for Shedeur will grow louder by the day. Fans will not stay silent. I know I won't. The media won't stay quiet. Every mistake Gabriel makes will fuel the storm. And when that storm finally breaks, the Browns will have no choice but to unleash Sanders. And when that moment comes, the league changes. Because Shedeur isn't just another backup waiting for a shot. He's a quarterback who knows how to turn disrespect into motivation. He's a player built for revenge arcs, and this QB3 snub has given him the biggest chip on his shoulder yet. This is not the end of Shedeur Sanders' story. It's the setup for something bigger, a narrative that would dominate the season. The disrespected rookie buried by his coach rising from QB3 to take over the NFL. It's the kind of storyline Hollywood couldn't script any better. And here's the part that should terrify Kevin Stefanski. If Shedeur succeeds, if he lights up the field and wins over the league, every decision Stefanski has made will be thrown back in his face. Fans will not forget. The media won't forget. And Stefanski's career in Cleveland, he might not survive the fallout. So yes, today Shedeur Sanders is QB3, but tomorrow he could be the quarterback who proves everything wrong and takes the NFL storm. Kevin Stefanski thinks he's in control. He thinks burying Shedeur Sanders at QB3 protects his team, his job, and his narrative. But what he doesn't understand is that he's already lost control. Because by disrespecting Sanders, Stefanski has unleashed something he can't contain. The fans are furious, the media is circling, and Shedeur himself, he's more motivated than ever. This isn't just a quarterback controversy, this is a war for the soul of the Cleveland Browns. It's fans versus management, it's talent versus politics, it's the future versus the past. And make no mistake, Shedeur Sanders will get a shot. The question is no longer if, it's when. And when that moment comes, Kevin Stefanski will regret ever making this decision, because you don't humiliate a player like Shedeur Sanders and walk away unscathed. You don't bury a star and expect him to stay silent, and you don't disrespect the next face of the NFL without facing the consequences. So buckle up, Cleveland fans. The story's just beginning. The controversy is only heating up, and if you don't want to miss a single twist, a single shock, or a single moment the NFL doesn't want to see, hit subscribe now, because the rise of Shedeur Sanders from QB3 to QB1 might just be the wildest ride of the entire NFL season. This is the Huddle HQ. Thank you for watching.